Brad had an absolute bomb to drop on Kristen. And with this new information, she would need to cling to that promise of God's provision, to be with her day by day for the difficult months and years to come.
He had an interview with a bishop for a church calling. I was excited to see what he was going to be called to. And when he came home, I said, "So what is it? What are you going to be? What's going on?" And he didn't look happy. He said, "So we need to talk." So we got to a quiet place and shut the door. And he said the offer the bishop was extending to me was to be a ward mission leader, but I couldn't accept that calling because I had some confessions to give to him. And the bishop told me that I need to tell you what that was. So he proceeded to tell me A, B, and C. And the results of that were the bishop calling the cops on the spot. He said, "There's going to be an arrest, and I don't know how far this is going to go, but this is happening." So you can imagine my devastation at that point. Somehow we had avoided the results of his addiction, and this one was like a train just coming through my family that I couldn't stop, and I didn't see that anything was going to stop this train from wrecking through my kids. My face hit the ground. I couldn't bury my face hard enough into the carpet. I just wanted to disappear somehow, just into the earth. I wanted to be anywhere but here, hearing this news right now. My kids' faces just passed before my eyes over and over, like, but what about Jeffrey? And what about Krista? And what about Joseph? Just one at a time, the devastation of each of them getting this news. He taught seminary every morning. So what would his seminary kids think? How would they feel? Wouldn't they be just betrayed? All my options started playing out, like, what do we do with this? And nothing had a happy ending nothing seemed like a positive solution. It just felt like a train coming and smashing us into a wall that I couldn't imagine telling anyone about this in the ward, or Brad telling anyone, or anyone telling anyone. This was something that was absolutely going to change our lives.
As Kristen continued to learn more and more about Brad's hurtful sexual sins, she knew she needed this man out of her life, and more immediately, out of her house. She suddenly realized that despite Brad's best efforts, he wasn't the Peter priesthood she was looking for.
I stopped seeing him as a victim at that point. It looked so intentional. And I was finally able to hold him responsible for what he'd done and what he was doing. And I said, "You need to leave right now, so pack up." And that night he just packed it all up, and the kids were all like, "Where are you going, Dad?" He said, "Dad needs to go work on some things, take care of your mom." And he left. And one of the most shocking things about that moment was I expected my kids to be in shock and sad and like, "Are you guys separating? What's going on?" Instead, they said, "Well, Mom, that was interesting. Do we still have ice cream in the freezer?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's still some in there." And they ran and had a bowl of ice cream while I'm just sitting there kind of like, what just happened?